Okay, the question is, if 3 grams of aluminum sulfate is dissolved in water, that would mean it's aqueous, and 1 gram of calcium metal is placed in that water, and if 0.30 grams of metal is recovered, what is the metal that is recovered and what's the percent yield? So aluminum sulfate, Al2SO43, you have to charge balance the formula. Is put with calcium metal, and all metals are going to be solids. This is a single replacement reaction where metals replace metals. So calcium is going to join up with sulfate. Calcium's 2 plus and sulfate's 2 negative, so that's balanced. On the solubility rules, you'll find this is a solid, and that's going to leave the aluminum by itself. Since the question's asking about collecting the metal, this is going to be the product we're going to calculate our way to. We need to balance the equation. Let's see, we're going to need 3 of these, 3 of these, and 2 of these. Now, I didn't write an atom inventory, but in this class, atom inventories are required. So we're going to start with 3 grams of aluminum sulfate. You calculate the molar mass of aluminum sulfate. What is the molar mass of aluminum sulfate? 300 something. Is that the rounded answer? Okay. Now there's a specific method for calculating molar mass in this class. If you don't have all the steps, you lose points. So use the steps I've taught you. Yeah, 342 what? 151? Well, let me do the math. Okay, I'll do the math. Hold on. Just hold your horses. Alright, so we've got 2 aluminums, 26.981, 538. There are 2 in the formula. I'm going to add that to the 3 sulfurs, 32.065 times 3 plus, and there's 12 oxygens. Oh, you're right. It's 152 something, isn't it? It's 151 here. Okay, so there's got to be an error somewhere in your calculation, Jessica. Yep, that's what I have. I mean, kind of in the long run, it probably rounds off to be the right answer. You get the right answer in the end, but you just be careful, okay? So by the time you do the correct significant digits, you're going to have that answer. So our molar ratio then, I've got 1 mole of aluminum sulfate. And we're trying to find aluminum, so that's 2 moles of that. And the molar mass of a metal, a monoatomic metal, is going to be the atomic mass in grams. And the atomic mass of aluminum is 26.981, 538 grams. That's equal to 1 mole, and that goes in the bottom. Cancel all the units and species. And do the math. Three times 2 times 20. Oh, 26, isn't it? Check my math. Careful. 981 538 342.151. And by the time you round off, if you round off properly, I get 0.473. All right. Then we're going to start with 1 gram of calcium metal. The atomic mass of 1 calcium is going to be its molar mass in grams. So the atomic mass is 40.078 grams of calcium. 1 mole of calcium. Molar ratio. 3 moles of calcium on the bottom. And 2 moles of aluminum on the top. The molar mass for aluminum is 20. Is its atomic mass as well. Remember, the atomic mass is the sum of all the atomic masses of all the atoms in a formula written in unit of grams. So if I only have one thing or one element or one atom in a formula, then its atomic mass is its molar mass. Okay? Cancel all the units and species. Do the math. And by the time you do all the rounding off, you should get 0.449 grams of aluminum. So, all of these two masses we have for aluminum, this is the smaller one here. So this is our theoretical yield. That makes calcium the limiting reactant and aluminum sulfate the excess reactant. For the percentage yield then, we need to have the 3 grams of the metal, aluminum is the metal we're collecting, on top of, I don't want to do it that way, 0.30 grams of aluminum on top of the theoretical yield. Multiply that by 100. Notice the units cancel. Anytime you're doing a percent calculation, the units will always cancel. In this case, the species also cancels. And by the time I round it off, I get 67% yield in aluminum. Okay? Alright, some things to be very, very careful about. An element by itself, or bonded only to itself, has a zero charge. The charge on an element or elemental molecule is 0. So the charge or the oxidation number on O 2, that is oxygen in the atmosphere, is 0. For H2, it's 0. For chlorine, which is Cl2, 0. And if I have things that are by themselves, like helium would be by itself, because it doesn't bond with anything, that's just a 0 charge. Aluminum, the metal, has a 0 charge. Calcium, the metal, because it's bonded to nothing here, and this, the way we write the formulas, has an oxidation number of 0. Now, aluminum in a compound has an oxidation number of 3+. But aluminum by itself has an oxidation number of 0. Everybody right straight with that?
Yeah.
All right. Balanced formulas are charged balanced. So there are no charges written above or next to elements or ions in a formula that's charge balanced. The charges cancel out each other. So you don't leave charges above aluminum or sulfate. You can put them there to help you balance the formula, but don't leave them there in the end. All right?
You want us to erase those?
Erase them.
All right, erase one.
The molar mass of a single element is the atomic mass. So the atomic mass for aluminum, which is a single element, the way we write in the formula, is just the molar mass is just the atomic mass in grams. So the molar mass of aluminum by itself is the atomic mass in grams. And we write that as 26.981538 grams Al equals 1 mole of Al. Okay? Coefficients are not used in calculating molar mass. Please listen, it's very important, because I saw a lot of people trying to do this today, and the test is tomorrow. Coefficients. These big numbers in front are coefficients. They're not used when calculating molar mass. When you're calculating the molar mass of calcium sulfate, this 3 isn't part of the calculation for the calcium sulfate's molar mass. Molar mass will have the mass of 1 calcium, 1 sulfur, and 4 oxygens. Is everybody straight with that? All right, those are things to be careful about when you're doing the test tomorrow. Now, remember to practice and study tonight, but you also get plenty of rest. So plan to study effectively, efficiently, but get plenty of rest. Yep.